Hey, Coach. First off, just the latest with Kevin and his situation.
Yeah, I think we found out recently that he can rejoin the team Friday. So I'm assuming that's the 7 day, contact tracing protocol, and we'll see him Friday, and I'll be really excited to have him back.
Gotcha. And with the Kyrie right index finger sprain, just how severe is that? Something that's a day-to-day situation? How long could he be out?
I think to be determined, but I think it very well could be a day to day. I think we're thinking of it day to day right now, but you never know. We'll see how it responds, but hopefully it is day to day, and we'll see him back in action on Tuesday.
Malika Andrews, ESPN.
Steve, can you just walk us through, you recently found out with Kevin, can you just walk us through what it was kind of like, how that information came to be, what your contact's been with him, and what you've heard from the league there?
Basically, I just got a text, in the last 30 minutes saying that was the conclusion. So I've texted with Kevin last night, but haven't spoken to him today. And, that's all I can give you is I just heard, and we'll see him on Friday.
And that's the health and safety protocol say 7 negative tests, right? It's the 7, something like that.
Yeah, don't quote me on that, but everyone's been negative. Kevin's been negative. Everyone in our group's negative. So hopefully that continues, and he just has to go through the contact tracing 7 days, and we'll welcome him back on Friday.
Greg Logan, Newsday.
Steve, two things for me. First of all, is there any aspect of load management involved with Kyrie, because you have the back-to-back coming up in the middle of the week? And second of all, because you're shorthanded now, is this the opportunity to take a look at Pell and or Shumpert?
This one with Kai is not any load management. He genuinely has a swollen finger and took a knock to it yesterday. So hopefully it's day to day. I think everyone's proceeding as it is. And then tonight, I don't think Shump's ready yet, but Norvell very well could find some action tonight. So we'll see how the game goes. But that's very possible.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Steve, this is twofold. I'm not asking necessarily whom the contact was with KD, but I'm curious, is this the same associate that it caused the last contact tracing? And is that something that I guess makes you guys have discussions with your players, not just KD, but with players in general, about the way they're going to have to deal with, I guess, these things going forward?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say who it is, but it's not the same individual. It's. I think the guys have been pretty responsible. I trust their better judgment. 99 times out of 100. The virus is the virus. I could get it tonight. You think you're being diligent and doing everything right, but there's no complete protection from it unless we were in a bubble and it was, like running back what we did. So this is a pseudo bubble, and there's going to be problems. Every team pretty much has faced some sort of issue, and that's the way it's going to be to try to get through this season. So I trust in the players. I think they're trying to do the right things all the time. We're human, and maybe there is the odd mistake, but I think even without mistakes, it's just possible. It's just possible to, unless you're living in a bubble, for people to contract it. And to be fair, Kevin doesn't have it. So that's the other part of this. It's just a precaution of the protocols.
And the follow-up was obviously then, I had asked you about the All-Star game before, but does this kind of put any extra doubts in your mind of holding an exhibition in the middle of the season in a place where the positivity rate is 11%?
Can I decline to answer that one? Brian, I trust, like I said yesterday, I trust the league will make it as safe as possible. They wouldn't put the players in harm's way. Is it perfect? No, but nothing is this year. And we have to just do our best to navigate a pandemic and a season and all that entails traveling and playing and players, in a contact sport and everything that goes into it. So it's tricky, but that is what we all signed up for, is to complete and execute this season. And so we'll just do the best we can to get through it and to get through it as safely as we can.
Tom Dowd, BrooklynNets.com.
Hey, Steve, Landry seems to be coming out of that shooting slump and looking more like the guy that we saw his first 2 years in the league. And so, not that you guys were short on scoring, but, how helpful, especially with that second unit group, to have another threat out there that you can rely on to put the ball in the basket.
Yeah, it's been a big help. I mean, first of all, I think we, all of us believe in Landry and think he's a quality NBA player. So with a future where he can grow and develop even more. So, it was unfortunate that he had a slow start, but he's very capable. We believe in him, and we're happy to see the ball go through the basket a little bit. But he plays hard. He knows the game plan defensively, and so he does other things for the team. So it's just nice that he can finish it off by hitting some shots here lately. That is a skill that he has and brings to our team, and our depth, needs it. And so it's been great that he has been feeling a bit of a rhythm and has been effective for us.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, two here for you. One, is there, I guess, any timeline on Kyrie? Obviously you said it's just like a swollen thing. Is it like day to day? Is it a couple of days out? Is he gonna miss any more games than tonight? And secondly, well, I guess you could talk to that one first.
Kai's day to day. Yeah, I don't have much more than that. I'd expect him Tuesday, but I can't commit to that. But I think he's day to day.
Okay. And second, obviously with no Kyrie and no Kevin, is it just like the greenest of green lights for James tonight to just go out there and go for 100 if he can?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. At the same time, I don't love putting players in that position where it's like, get us 100 or we lose. James is an incredible player and he makes his teammates better. And if he scores a bunch of points, great. But he brings so much to the table for our team by his playmaking and his intelligence. And to beat, a high quality team like the Sixers, I think it's got to be a team effort. So we'd love for James to have a monster game, but we can't rely on James to win us this game. We have to do it collectively. We have to be solid defensively. We have to scrap fight. And if we make some shots, we got a better chance.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, you kind of rolled into my question. Just, what are your thoughts on Philly? You saw them a month ago and beat them, but granted with a much different team.
Yeah, Philly is, one of the, top teams in the league. Joel is, a monster, play inside and out, makes his teammates better defensively, offensively. Ben is such a unique talent, and they have shooters and experience around them this year. So they put you in a lot of positions that are very difficult to defend. And we're going to have to be really sharp tonight, make as few mistakes as possible for us to put ourselves in a position to win.
Ryan Rucco, Yes Network.
Hey, Steve, I'm just wondering now that, we're deeper into this season, sort of a broad question, but are there moments within the game in which you're noticing, no fans, or you can kind of feel it, not being a part of the rhythm, or has it changed at all from the start of the season to now, the way you lose yourself in the action or the way you do or don't notice not having a crowd?
I think for me, being, back in the league, it's kind of just been the new normal. I didn't coach at all last year, or the subsequent year. So retiring in 2014, it's almost like I don't know what it's like to have fans from this perspective. So I haven't thought too much about the fans per se, but I would say that there is an element of monotony, the condensed schedule, not necessarily for me, for the coaches, more so for the players, the ones that are doing that, putting in that physical output every night, the emotional, spiritual, physical output every night. And, we come to Philadelphia, they can't go grab a coffee, or get a drink with a friend or dinner. That for them, I think is taxing. So The fan situation, I think, adds to that in that some nights it gives you juice. It puts something on the line. It puts a spotlight on the ball game and the event and all those things that can help players at times, can help them find the juice, energy, momentum, spark a run, or many different facets of basketball are affected by fans. So we miss the fans for sure. I think we miss it in particular this year in the fact that it is a monotonous, waterlogged schedule where guys are going to be searching for juice on a night-to-night basis at times, especially when you get into the middle of the season as we are now.
Last question, Brian Mahoney, Associated Press.
A little bit kind of picking up on that, Steve. Do you worry about the mental strain right now that there's so many rules and that maybe this is kind of taking the ability to kind of get away from the game, away from you guys? I mean, your team, obviously that was a weird thing last night, but the guys looked frustrated. You can kind of, Kevin, I'm sure really feels it now that maybe a little bit of the joy is not right there for everybody.
There's definitely elements of that. They're human beings. They put, most of these guys, have worked so hard to get here. They love the game. They prepare, they compete, and they have to do a consistency to either play at this level, stay at this level, or be great at this level. And, when you're put in this scenario, it's more difficult and it's taxing. And there's going to be stretches where it's really tough for them emotionally and mentally. But that's the same for everyone. So we're all in this competition together. We all have to navigate this. We all want to be there, signed up to do this. It's better than the alternative, but they are human beings, and it's going to be a difficult season, and they've got to navigate it and manage that mental and emotional toll that's going to come with the difficulties that all the COVID protocols and this kind of pseudo bubble present.